Next up, Rick. Does everybody in the world have a last name but me? I'm going to get one. I brought a couple fears with me today. These are some of my favorite fears. I have a list of fear here. Triskaidekaphobia, which is fear of the number 13. Try saying that 12 times fast. And my favorite, which is lisophobia, which is fear of insanity. This is great, because if you're going insane, it drives you fucking crazy. I want to read this poem by Catherine Everly, who I've never met, but she's written the most wonderful poem in the world, called Poem in Search of a Lover. Oh, I know we're madly in love with each other. We just can't remember where or when it was we met, or which one of us is monogamous, or who is into everything and everyone. And was it you who said you liked scarves, or was it someone else's whose number one passion was strawberries and bad movies and a little light bondage? I can't remember who my heart is promised to. And I can't recall, was it last week I said never, ever again, only to meet you in that bar? Yes, I'm certain it was you I held. We were standing by the old jukebox, and we introduced ourselves as old friends. You sobbed quietly, then slipped out at last call. Believe me, I understand. Tenderness is all I ever wanted. Just a hand running through my hair, and eyes that would not betray the situation. I like it. I have a poem here for all the writers here today, and what we share in common, which is every writer hates every other writer. This is called the Talking the Muse Blues. We're talking the muse, we're talking up the muse blues, all the muse that's fit to print. The muse in the first person, the third degree, the Fifth Amendment. I told you the muse hath charms to soothe the savagest of beasts. Yeah, well, I'm real sorry about that. I hope the scars heal okay. Yeah, and poets be talking up the muse like it comes to them. Special delivery. Kind of like a minstrel cycle, if you will. Usually shows up somewhere between the great taste of your first beer and the bitter dregs of your last call 15th. That very delicate kind of, well, fuck them, and fuck you too, but someone has to tell the real story, and it might as well be me, because I sure as hell ain't gonna get any tonight. State of mind. That the muse shows up like an ill wind, ain't gonna blow no one, no good, passes, leaving little bunny pellets of wisdom behind. Now, folks, I gotta tell you, the muse always shows up for me kind of like a cop, just as I was gonna get away with something. Looking like Ernest Borgnine in a lace tutu, fresh from a bad night on the PT-73, and he makes with that great right brain upper hook of inspiration. It's like an express train of the blues flutes. It's like, oh hell, that wasn't a dream, I really did say that. It's like a little Nazi in your head that says, wake up! It's 4 a.m. on an otherwise bad morning. It's genius time. And then the next thing you know, there you are in ego court with that familiar, you gotta believe me, Mr. Judge, Your Honor, look on your face pleading, well, it was dark, Your Honor, and I really did try to count my beers until I ran out of fingers. I honestly intended it to be harmless flirtation, but you know how one thing does lead to several others, and when it was all over, and the haze cleared, and I looked down at my hands, and oh God, what have I done? How will I ever wash the ink off? I wrote this poem a long time ago, but I thought of reading it after the paper story of what they were going to give the 15-year-old kid who beat a school classmate of his to death, apparently to see what it was like off camera. And they didn't know what to give him, and I always hope that they never give people innocent by reason of insanity, because it's like, what do they say later? I was a little insane at the time, but I'm feeling much better now. And listening to people's reactions to the case and what the kid should get, whether he should be left up because he was under the effects of some pretty brutal drugs, or you know, whether to feed him to the sharks. And I really don't have my own opinion on that, but I did want to say this, and this is called "We Have Met Them and They Are Us." Whose seed is this? Who owns the hands of crime? I thought the trail of footprints led to your house, and you suspect those feet are mine. And you read about them in the news every day. Who are they? We write songs about their means and sinister ways. Who are they? Another episode of war, one more comic book second-rate Satan, another artist's sensitive soul, and a poignant rendition of a smoking gun. And it's in the popular opinion and the things that we say, but who are they? We keep the police artists busy, but the killer gets away. Who are they? And does the media exploit death and tragedies? We'll find out in our 37-part miniseries. All right, who's listening? Who owns the hands of crime? I thought the cost was picked up by the savage and the poor and the everyday Joe in some country, but not mine. But when you have to face the truth of the raped and the slain, you can't ask anymore, who are they? In the mirrors and the morgues where they are displayed face to face with the killers, we are they.